What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Folks, back on the Patrick Gayle show, a great show after night, the day after Albany State sweeps the Atlanta series. Clark and Morehouse in dramatic fashion in second half comebacks. We're going to recap with Coach Gayle. Coach Gayle, good to see you after a great night last night, Coach.
Well, let me stop you right there. We didn't sweep nothing because they got company, and they'll be ready to go. But it was a great weekend. Two gutsy wins. I have to thank my staff, Coach White, Coach Stark, Coach JR. I got to thank Coach Aaliyah, my managers TJ, Madeline, that came and it was great support. It was great to see the team pull out two tough victories in two tough environments against two very tough teams.
On Saturday at Clark and last night in Morehouse, the guys had some adversity, got down, not making the plays we want them to make, but stuck together and stayed the course, didn't get down, didn't tap out, and made the key plays and played every second on the clock and got the job done and left two hard environments with wins.
Well, it's funny because, my scripture I read this morning was Mark 10, 23 to 31. Mark 10, 31 being the last shall be first, the first shall be last. And, what I really loved was that last year we lost these games. And I even talking to both coaches before the game, just referencing last year and what great battles they were. You're not going to win every game, but you want to learn from losing. But if you have faith and if you're doing things the right way, if you trust in the Lord, whatever adversity you go through, and you're a witness. I've been the same way last year that I am this year. Remember how I kept talking about, I'm not looking at my records. So I'll be honest with you, JR. I don't even know what the record is right now. I just know if we keep winning, we're going to be where we want to be. So I just focus on the next game. So, thankfully, the guys believe that as well. We really don't look ahead. We really are just focused on the game at hand. And I'll be honest with you, there's a little mental, not so much physical, but mental fatigue. There's definitely guys that are banged up. Last year, we had guys that were out because of injury. This year, whatever we're facing, we've been blessed enough to have, almost our full roster. We don't have our full roster. One young man is dealing with a really, really serious injury. So we're just blessed to be in this position, but we understand we have to take it one possession at a time. You were there, JR. What do we always say? One possession at a time. Don't focus on the score, focus on the process. And I'm so proud of my guys that they showed it. And it's funny because I never felt like we were down as much as we were in both games. I just knew looking at what we were doing, we were getting good shots in both games. It's just a matter of the ball going in. But we have to be more, aware with our defensive game plan. And we didn't start out both games the way we wanted to defensively, but we ended the way we wanted to defensively.
My pops, Coach McKeary, always say, it's best to learn from a win and a loss. So we can take this tape back.
Correct.
And learn
That's
from
why this morning, that's why we had to shift our recording this morning, because one of my freshmen came in to watch film. And, after a win, it's really good to teach, what breakdowns we had, because they're going to be more aware and more, responsive to what you're telling them.
No doubt. And Coach, in clutch time, as we're coming back, the bench is locked in. Defensively, guys are more locked in zone, have active hands, trying not to foul, getting key rebounds, key stops. I know it sounds trite sometimes to players, but those little things, those intangibles, helped us win this game last night and get a Morehouse and bring them with a victory in overtime.
Well, speaking of rebounding, a meeting with Coach Stark and with one of our freshman bigs. So Jabari Williams, our senior, the last two games, just offensive rebounds. He had 12 offensive rebounds in just the last two games. And a couple of weeks ago, we challenged him about getting more offensive rebounds. So proud of him and how he has, maintained his consistency, and his offensive rebounding is key for us. So, the little things are being, all coaches do this, coaches are all saying the same thing. It's just a matter of kids embracing it. And again, we were in the same position last year. We just didn't finish, whereas this year we finished.
No doubt. And seeing the growth in guys like Shakur and Cam coming back and growing like that. So having been through that last year and growing, so I think that's very important, right there. When you got guys in system continuity who can grow, and seeing Shakur be aggressive in late games rather than passive is a hell of an improvement from last year. And even down the stretch, taking big shots, getting Blaze on the boards there, getting big rebounds right there. Jabari, that key free throw in the end, G-Sean drawing foul. So just seeing how the vision is coming together and the improvement that's been made from Miles to now, it's night and day.
That's right. And again, we got to have that faith when things aren't going great. And, after the season last year, literally, as we're getting on the bus to go home after the conference tournament, Shakur made it a point that, Coach, I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get bigger and take more pounding. And he has. I mean, he doesn't settle. He's very efficient from the field because of his commitment to his body. And I'm so proud of him because of that. It's one thing when somebody says it's another thing when somebody does it. I don't care about words. I always look at people's actions. You can say anything to me, but I'm very, very, aware of what I say to people. That's why I get in a lot of trouble with people, because I'm too blunt. But show me. And the guys are showing me. First of all, in the age of transfer portal, guys could have transferred. We had some guys transfer, but these guys wanted to come back. And you referenced Cam and Shakur and Blaze. I love them because, their dedication to this program. They've been through a lot of adversity, man. they're still going through a lot of adversity even this year. I can't even talk about some of the things that we go through on a day-to-day basis, but it's a pleasure to be in practice with them. And I'm talking about back when we, played earlier in the season, like you said, against Miles and some teams. Like, I knew that they were bought into this season. So I'm just so proud of them. And, again, our focus now is on Fort Valley. Everybody else is going to talk about, homecoming, but we're focused on the game. Fort Valley is playing very well. They just beat Morehouse. They had a chance to beat Clark last night. Coach Robinson is doing a phenomenal job. His guys are doing a phenomenal job. It's going to be a tough game. And like I was telling Coach Whitler before the game, we're in the East. Anybody can get beat in the East. Anybody. The East is such a strong division. SIC is really at a high level right now with basketball.
No doubt, Coach. Like you said, it's a gauntlet, and thankfully the road portion is pretty much done for the last 3 games of the year. So now it's defending the home court because you always going to go on a conference on the road is hard, and you got, if you get that advantage there, you got to defend the home court. Kind of like tennis, how to hold your serve now and focus only on Saturday homecoming. I remember having homecoming at Tennessee State. It was hard to focus.
Well, we have to. I mean,
think about your basketball team, not football team, but over 100 guys.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. I mean, we have to focus. They had an off day today, but we're gonna have guys come in and watch film. I'm sure we're gonna have guys come in and shoot. And all of that is gonna be on their own. But we have to. We don't have a choice. I mean, homecoming is not for the athletes. For any kids that want to go to HBCUs and they see the homecoming festivities, you want to play, it ain't for you. It's for everybody else. It's when you are done playing. That's when you enjoy it the most. So it's good to see my former players like Napoleon Harris. He was there last night, and he coached with me as well. So it was fun. By the way, man, let me just say, with all the things that has happened, the best part of last night was watching Coach Stark, and watching Coach White after the game in the locker room, because I know how hard Coach Stark works. I know how invested you are in what we're doing, and to watch the joy in you guys, man, that meant something to me. So I just want to say, man, I appreciate you, JR.
Coach Gayle, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I haven't slept all night. Coach, I haven't felt victory like this since November of 2008.
Wow.
Over 16 years, and you can't replace that rush.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. If you want to coach, you got to get over it. So I was the same way, but 7:00 this morning when I spoke to my children, refocus. Mm-hmm. Focus is now on Fort Valley. Got to refocus. So that's the thing about coaching. That's why we age hard. We age hard, JR, because you can't enjoy it. You got to refocus. Yes. You got to now lock in on the next game. So the refocus has already been done.
No doubt. And Coach, I will tell you this. It hit me last night thinking about my father, to have that rush again in the hood I grew up in, down the street from where my father's house is like it came full circle. Knowing how he felt about wanting me to get involved in this professional coaching.
You would have been proud, JR. He would have been proud. Coach McHenry, big up to Coach McHenry. He would have been proud. And again, that's what I said to you last night. That's really, why it hit me, because watching you, I could tell he would have been real proud. He would have been real proud.
No doubt, Coach. And you know what? It's full circle, because I said I grew up. This is where I grew up at, Coach.
Right.
Right. And to that vein, Coach, on my Tennessee State football group chat, all them guys are so happy, like literally invested, texting all night, all morning. So, Coach, they really appreciate you. They love the show, and they know how much I care about you in the program. And to see them really be invested in what I had going on last night when they ain't have to do it.
They didn't have to do it. And I appreciate the support, because it wasn't just this year, JR. They were there last year. They were there last year. They were there all summer, and keeping up with the program. And man, I appreciate your former teammates because I know, energy is huge to me, man. And I know they're giving good energy. And, I pray for you guys and I pray for, the current, program and your alma mater, as well as praying for my school, as well as praying for all schools. I mean, we're all HBCU brothers and sisters. Maybe that's why I get in trouble, JR, because I'm not into so much the rivalry of seeing somebody down. I'm into everybody having success. And I told Coach Whitler before the game, I said, man, it was hard watching that film last year, but man, you did such a great job in that game and what you did with your X's and O's. He's such a great, phenomenal coach. Coach Alfred Jordan and I are close friends, and we text each other, and he texts me, throughout last season and throughout this season. I'm encouraging to him. The other joy that I had, at the Clark game, one of coaches Jordan's former players, the twins. If you know SIC basketball, you know the twins. And, they both came and gave me a hug, and I gave them a hug. And, we were just talking about how much, how competitive it was. That's what it's all about. I want to see young men like that, and they're helping Coach Jordan at Clark coach. I root for them. I root for Morehouse. I root for Edward Waters. I root for Fort Valley. I root for Miles. I root for Spring Hill. I root for Tuskegee. I root for Allen. I root for Benedict. I root for all those guys. And I'm not just saying it because, JR, I was in the dirt, and I still root for those guys because it's about the conference. It's about letting the world know there's some very extremely good coaches in this league. And for it to be a gauntlet, that means there's a lot of good programs. You understand what I mean? We got some guys that can coach anywhere in the country at any level in the country. And I just wanted to celebrate that. So this is, again, if you go back to last year's episodes, I'm saying the same thing. So maybe that's why I get in trouble, because people have a problem with, why are you always saying that? Why are you always so happy? Because God woke me up this morning. That's why. Because I can see that what he has put inside of me is affecting others. And that's what it's all about. And I keep saying it's not about the record. Great. We're doing, you're doing an awesome job this year. But I'm looking at the next one because it can, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. It can happen like that. So you can't tie yourself to what man makes and what tangible things you have in this world. You have to tie yourself to a greater power, and that's what I follow.
It was something that Coach McKinney always say, he always say every game is an experience. So
that's right.
For the rest of our lives, me, you, Coach Stark, and Coach White, and these players, we know at Morehouse, tough night, we stuck together and came back and got a victory. And my coach talked about making experiences, like say with the football team. There are certain things that we know that happen that for the rest of our lives we can still talk about together in our group chat forever.
Man, there's so many great things. But what you just said, one of my former players from my last school at St. Thomas, Melvin Robinson brought his wife and his daughter, and last year did the same thing. Tradition was I take a picture with his daughter, he and his daughter. This year we were able to do it after a win, after last year being able to do it after a loss. But again, it's just awesome. And he's a strong, his faith is strong. It's awesome just to see that the Lord will put you in positions and in places. If you want courage and faith and all those things, you have to be in that environment. And it's awesome that, the Lord is allowing these young men to see if you stay together, if you have faith, if you stick with the right way of doing things, you will have success. And when you don't have success, don't be down. Don't get down.
No, and Coach, it was something about Blaze last time out, 2 minutes to go, whatever. He said, we're only down 6.
That's right.
That's right. We're only down 6. It's
right.
Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Blaze was saying it in the huddle.
That's right.
It touched my heart because of his possessions.
That's right.
He was keeping guys we're only down by 6 with the last media timeout.
That's right.
On
That's
the road.
Right.
We've been here before.
And kudos to Blaze. He's just a sophomore. Cam's a sophomore. Blaze is a sophomore. Shakur's junior. Alex played a little bit last night. You called it, Coach. Remember after Clark, he told me in the breakdown, "Hey, Coach, can we get Alex some minutes?" Well, he came in. I think he was +2.
Yeah,
and that
productive minutes.
Productive minutes to kind of level it out going into the half. So I mean, these guys that are returning, that's what your program is all about. In the age of the transfer portal, I'm always going to keep recruiting freshmen because I want guys like that understand what the message is from the coaching staff.
No doubt, Coach. And, Coach, I must tell you, man, like, my phone is still going off with my teammates right now.
Hey, big ups to your teammates. Big ups to your teammates.
But the group chat's still popping off, man. It's crazy. I'm trying to do the show.
Hey, put in the group chat. They are welcome to Albany, Georgia at any time. At any time.
I sure will, Coach. Yeah, Coach, I'm just surprised that this happened for me. I really am. Me, you, and I. I'm not. It's like I shouldn't be surprised, but it's just how. Even while we're recording the show, when I told them I'm recording the show, they're still just
they don't care.
They're texting away.
Hey, that's awesome. But again, we appreciate you. We appreciate your presence. You're doing some big things. You even got into it, on the sideline a little bit. Thank you for not getting us a technical. We appreciate it. Thank you for keeping calm and keeping composed. We appreciate that. So now we move forward to Fort Valley on Saturday for homecoming.
Coach, I'm gonna ask you, Coach, man, for you, man. It was fun seeing all Albany State Rams fans come out there. Talk about the Atlanta Albany State alumni who come out.
Man,
the support.
The DeKalb Alumni Association, we appreciate you. They were there for Clark. They were there for Morehouse. They fed us well. We were able to get back on the bus and have a nice, post-game meal and feeling because we got the 2 victories, but more importantly, we felt the love. And again, they have been there. Were they there last year, JR, when we lost those 2 games?
They sure were.
They have been there every time we go to Atlanta. So happy and so, appreciative of the DeKalb Alumni Association chapter.
No doubt, folks. It's been the Coach Patrick Gayle show here. We're going to check out with you next week. We're doing big things here. Coach Gayle, thank you for what you've done for me in the program and being there for me. And I should allow me in the way you have, coaches. And it felt good last night. And I'm just thankful that, you helped fulfill my dad's one of his wishes.
Hey, to God be the glory, JR. Keep it now, but refocus now. You got to refocus. So the next challenge is at hand. So refocus.
I'll do that, Coach. Give me one more day, Coach. I'm back from.
Hey, there's always going to be a challenge because that's where the Lord puts that in our spirit that we just need to lean on Him. So we just refocus.
No doubt. Folks, that's the word from Coach Gayle. We'll catch you next week. We're out.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your #1 source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.